Wicket's gone out, so the same field that was set for Zazai, set for Lewis now. And this one's over the offside, just where the bowler doesn't want it. I think it's going to be pulled up short of the boundary. Yes, it is. A jog through for a couple. And that brings us to the end of the second over. Tigers 24 without loss. So there we go, 21 from 10 for Zazai. He started off, as we've seen so many times, very aggressive player. 24 without loss for the Tigers. Foul play signal has been made. And the bowler for the Samp, Henrik Nokia. Now this boy has got some serious heat, serious gas. You've seen him bowling for South Africa, seen him playing in the IPL. As quick and as straight as they can come. Wonderful moustache going on at the minute as well. Let's see how he gets on. First outing for the Samp. Smash the offside, just be a single. Now let's go downstairs to the Samp. She's got a special guest for us. Mr. Srisanth, I believe. Smash the offside, just be a single.
So हमारे साथ यहाँ है Srisanth, the rock star of Bangla Tigers. Srisanth, it's your first season of T10. कैसा लग रहा है आपको to be a part of the fast format of cricket?
बहुत ही अच्छा लग रहा है, बहुत ही अच्छा लग रहा है क्योंकि मैंने सोचा नहीं था कि इतनी फास्ट होने वाला है और जैसे कि हमने जैसे कल मैच खेले, अरे शुक्रिया अदा करूँगा कि इतना अच्छा एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला है ऐसे यंगस्टर्स के साथ, वो भी इतने बड़े शहर में. एंड इट्स अ कंप्लीट न्यू फॉर्मेट, तो ज़्यादा सोचने के लिए इतना टाइम ही नहीं, जैसे कि टेस्ट मैच हो या इवन T20 में हमें थोड़ा टाइम मिलता है, बट इतना तेज़ है कि कुछ बोल नहीं सकता. तो मज़ा आ रहा है यार, मज़ा आ रहा है. बांग्ला टाइगर्स के साथ तो हमारा टैगलाइन ही हुई है, लेट्स गो हंट.
एब्सोल्युटली श्रीशांत. सो बांग्ला टाइगर्स ने कल से जो शुरुआत की है, ऑलरेडी इन लोग ने पूरे धमाके से शुरुआत की है. क्या लगता है आपको आगे चलते हुए कैसे चलने वाला है?
हमारे बैटिंग एज वेल एज बॉलिंग बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग ही है. मतलब T10 में तो हमेशा कुछ बोल नहीं सकता, मगर मैं तो एक बात तो जरूर बोलेंगे क्योंकि जैसे कि हमारे टीम में एटलीस्ट 7 ओपनिंग बैट्समैन और 7 ओपनिंग बॉलर्स है, मतलब प्रॉपर. तो मुझे लगता है व्हेन इट कम्स टू द कॉम्पिटिशन लेवल, वो 10 ओवर में कुछ बोल नहीं सकता. बट जैसे हमारे एटमॉस्फेयर है, अगर हमारे ऑनर की भी बात किया जाए, सारे लोग जो पूरे सपोर्ट करते हैं, और दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ऐसे शॉर्ट फॉर्मेट में जो फैमिली जैसे रहेंगे, जो मिलजुल के रहेंगे, उसमें बहुत मायने रखते हैं. और हमारी टीम आपने तो देखा होगा, चाहे इंग्लिश हो, बांग्लादेशी हो, पाकिस्तानी हो, इंडियन हो, उनसे कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. क्रिकेट से फ़र्क है. और हम एक ही होटल पे, मतलब जब क्रिकेट नहीं खेलते तब भी हम बहुत सारे मज़ा करते, तो मज़ा आता है.
Absolutely, Srisanth, and I'm sure जैसे आपने बोला, बस मजे में खेलना है, and that is the idea, right?
Absolutely. तो मेरा आइडिया वही है, बट मैं बोलूँगा ना, टूर्नामेंट जीतना है. जैसे कि 2007 वर्ल्ड कप गए थे, जीत पाए. 2011 वर्ल्ड कप खेले थे, जीत पाए. अभी मैं खेलने वाली टीम के साथ हूँ. अगर जब खेलने आएंगे तो शायद मुझे फाइनल में शायद हम जीतने वाले हैं. तो पहला टूर्नामेंट, जो भी पहला टूर्नामेंट मैंने खेला वो जीता है, तो देखो दे देखिए. जैसे मैंने बोला ना, लक की बात किया जाए तो देखिए इतना अच्छा एक शानदार शॉट मारा है. वाह यार, वो भी नोकिया जैसे फास्ट बॉलर को, जो वर्ल्ड कप से जाके हर जगह पे इतना तेज डालते हैं, और तेज से कोई मतलब नहीं. इधर बहुत सारे जो स्किलफुल उनके आते हैं वही परफॉर्म करते हैं. दैट्स अ बिगेस्ट चैलेंज है. तो इट्स अ ग्रेट, आई एम जस्ट ग्रेटफुल. श्योर.
थैंक यू सो मच श्री, आपने एकदम एक हीरो जैसे जवाब दिया.
Well, he's absolutely right. It is a challenge, even if you have World Cup experience behind your belt. That last shot, if you saw it, was just ridiculous. A pickup for 6 on a massive boundary. It's a good time to show you the replay while nothing's happening here. Just have a look at this, kids. Barely any backlift, barely any follow through. And this has gone about 100 meters.
Yeah, and it just even felt that he didn't really time it as well as he would have liked. It's the pace of Nokia. And that's just flown. That has just flown.
It's lunacy how far that ball's gone. If this is still a bowler's game, Rohan, I don't know. 37 without loss, 1 ball left in this over. Good Yorker to finish it off. So brilliant comeback from Norkiek, finished the over. 3 gone now, 37 without loss.
শুনতেছি জীবন না করতেছে
So in this chase of
Ram
101,
koi
the
rasta
Tigers
nahi.
got off to the perfect start, 37 without loss. Have used their power play though, so it's all about Samp managed to pick up a wicket or two, just put the handbrake on a little bit. Dwayne Pretorius is the new man to give it a go. Right on medium fast. Seemed very medium after facing Nokia at the other end. In his day, could really get it through. Not many bowlers fast as Nokia.
Yeah, he's something special, Andrik Nokia. But as Srishant was saying, it's a lot of skill required over here.
Oh, well, that's pitched off the pitch, so it's not even a wide. This one's a no ball. So it's going to be a free hit as well. Pretorius gone for the slow ball first up. Made a horrible hash of it. There you go. If it pitches off the cut strip, it's not actually a wide. It's a no ball. So there should be a free hit. It is. That's very well bowled.
Excellent stuff. Just, under pressure, first ball, like you said, not even on the pitch, so it's a free hit. And to come back and respond that way, excellent stuff.
The Bangla owners enjoying the way things have started, I'm sure, for their team. And that smash through the offside. There is a fielder in the deep. So you can see exactly what Samp going to try and do. Keep it wide of Zazai's off stump with 3 fielders out in the deep. They're just trying to cut off the boundaries, aren't they, Rowan?
Well, look, you mentioned boundaries. You look at the first 3 overs, and Samp had just 2 boundaries in their first 3. The Tigers have got 6, and that's where the difference lies. At this stage, the Samp was 22 for 2. Tigers flying at 39 for no loss. And it's all because of those boundaries, the difference in boundaries.
Yeah. Oh, the batsman looking for a wide. But Pretorius, after that early he's got his radar in order.
Yeah, I think that's a good call from the ump. I don't know if the umpires would have sort of said, like, you just flirting with that tram line. But I think that's a good call.
Yeah, Evan Lewis is off towards the offside. His feet just edging towards the off stump, I should say. He's trying to open up the leg side. One field who is in is mid-on, so you're not going to get many balls to hit there, you'd think. Nicked and gone. A good catch behind. Pretorius picks up his man by sticking with that wide line. Johnson Charles takes a good diving catch.
Well, and you've got to give credit to Pretorius here, because that first ball wide this is what he was trying to do. Didn't get his radar right, but didn't change his game plan. Stuck to those wide deliveries outside the off stump, and it's paid dividends. Excellent thinking, excellent clarity of thought. Evan Lewis goes for 14, Tigers 39 for 1.
Joe Clark is the new man. His first ball yesterday, played a blazing cover drive, but was caught at extra cover by Owen Morgan, his English compatriot. Joe Clark, very fine player, plays for Nottinghamshire Outlaws. Very, very fine batsman in all forms of the game. Very destructive if he gets going. I'm sure, like any batsman, having got out first ball yesterday, he'll be desperate to just get that first run off the blade.
Yeah, just get off the mark. The reason he's there is because Victoria stuck to his game plan and it's paid dividends.
Good sharp catch that from Johnson Charles. Very close. See that flew. Made it look very easy. He's travelling at a decent rate of knots. So he'll be very happy with the glove work. And there is the first run off the blade of this tournament. Joe Clark. Sigh of relief all round. There's no batsman's happiest run as his very first one. Maybe not. No one likes it naught. Don't say the 100th run because I didn't know that very
listen, it's from 99. That sense of relief you get when you hit that shot in the gap when you're batting on 98 or 99 and you know you're going to get to 100. Nothing beats that.
Well, I had the same sort of relief when I got off the mark, so probably shows the difference in our levels of batsmanship.
Mate, listen, you know, I've heard stories about an excellent little cameo in the Under-19 World Cup final.
I'll dig it out for you later on. Yeah, 22 off 13. They still talk about it, but what we're talking about is Morrisville Samp 100 for 5 after batting first from their 10. Bangla Tigers, even off that great start, you see now 40 for 1 for 4. So 61 required from 6 overs. Samp have managed to drag that run rate back to 10 and over. Cuttle. Every dot ball now will be met with plenty of encouragement from the keeper, noise from the fielders, trying to create a sense of pressure for the batsman.
Yeah, change of pace, just using his experience quite well here, Cottrell. 13 dot balls so far in this innings.
This one smashed down the ground. There is a long on, so it'll only be a single, I'm sure. Yeah, like I said to Compo earlier, time runs out very quickly in this format, in the fastest format. So we were saying cricket, you think you've got more, you've always got more time than you think, sorry, as a batsman. But you don't in T10 cricket. If you take 2 or 3 overs, now, Joe Clark, to get your eye in, you suddenly are way behind the run rate and you need to go crazy.
Look, absolutely. I mean, you think another 2 overs, you're in the 7th over, and boom, you've got 3 overs left, 18 deliveries left, and you've got to go at maybe 14, 15 and over at that point.
Yeah.
Never going to be easy.
It's all about keeping the boundaries up. You need to hit 1 or 2 per over, all the way through your 10 overs to keep up with a run rate or set a big total. I just think if the Tigers here just try and turn the scoreboard over slowly for too many balls, they could find themselves in a spot of bother. They still have 9 wickets in hand. All of a sudden the boundaries have dried up, seem hard to come by.
Well, you just get the feeling that at some point in the future you will have cricketers who look at a target of 110 overs and think, listen, you know what that is? That's 10 sixes, 10 fours, 20 deliveries out of 60. And that's what we're going to do. Pretty similar to what Karen Pollard was doing yesterday when he was trying to chase, where he was trying to think, okay, listen, I'm going to take most of the strike of the remaining 12, 15 deliveries and try and hit 6, 7 sixes. I think that will be a strategy that will come into play quite a bit as this game evolves.
I think you're right. Well, here's one of those sixes. Cottrell just misses his hole. Smashed by Zazai. High and far over deep mid-wicket.
Well, Zaza has just been wowing us, hasn't he? 30 of 16 again. Just moves that front leg a little to the leg side just so that he can have a clean swing of the bat. No restriction.
It's just no nonsense, isn't it? High back, short follow through. Like a golfer hitting the ball into the wind, keeping it low.
It's simple cricket. It's not complicated. I'll see the ball, I'll hit the ball. If it's in my zone, in my area, I'm going to smash it.
Oh, the old-fashioned reply from the quick bowler, the short one. Finishes the over. With 5 gone now, the Tigers 50 for 1.
tough, Danny.
It's been a very good start by the Bangla Tigers. 50 of just 5 overs. They need another 51 of 5. Shouldn't be a very, very gask the way at the moment Jazai is going. He's batting beautifully. He's played some terrific shots so far. 31 of just 17 deliveries. Danny?
Yeah, that's what it's about, isn't it? Entertainment to the max. He's striking
Paid
182.
Excellent thinking, excellent clarity of thought. Evan Lewis goes for 14, Tigers 39 for 1.
Another 51. Well, that's a peach. Junaid, like this.
A bit of movement.
Yeah.
It's a good delivery. All ins beaten there. Jazai. He's eyeing the big boundaries. He's not worried about the 1s and 2s. He's not interested in them, and hence we have seen 14 dot balls so far out of those 5.1 overs. But every time he gets it in the zone, it goes out of the park.
He's just one of those guys, isn't he, that has that ability to play catch-up, if you like. And I know I'm making a big comparison here, but a certain Christopher Henry Gale, and he too, like a strong left-hander, even if he got behind the rate a little bit, it sort of didn't fluster him too much. And then you look at the way this guy can play, and whether it is playing sort of more orthodox or in his own unique way. And then you've got Lewis. So you have the two lefties that can smash into all parts. And it's interesting here when you've looked at the way the Tigers bowled with pace off early and went with spin as opposed to these guys. And then you see pace on the ball. This is what you can do. And it makes it very difficult for the fielding side when there's a lot of pace on the ball to try and create confidence.
Yeah, very cheeky. Very, very cheeky from Clark, just trying to play that reverse lap. Was a slow delivery, picked it early, shot third, and full use of it. Beautifully executed shot. Thinking about the shot is different, but to be able to execute it that nicely is as important.
Well, they're going about what you've got in the locker, and you've got to practice it a lot, don't you? So you want to bring all your tools, as it were. Nice cue in this. It hasn't carried. Look, I was on with Nick Compton just a little while ago, and the first innings, and it's fascinating to be here a lot. And yes, there's a tinge of green in the surface, but at times it just feels to me a little bit dry.
Yeah.
And if you had just a little bit, it's a tricky thing, I get it, because we're here in the desert, of course, and the winds and everything, about getting the moisture content, the moisture levels correct for a pitch that could slide on.
A good delivery again. Yorker length, and exactly right. Sometimes you've seen that sponginess in the pitch where the ball is stopped and makes it so much harder for the batter to get under the ball or get hold of that delivery. And we have seen that on a few occasions so far. But yeah, the execution on that occasion, the Yorker was perfect.
Well, Abby, it comes back to guys wanting to bowl back end of a length because there is that two-pace nature in it. And so tennis ball bounces, off cutters, into the surface, leg cutters, all of that then makes it tricky to play your shots. And so I understand that, but yeah, when you, we'll come back to that, it's 6 done, 57 for 1 here.
It's fine.
Bowling change, right arm over.
Abhishek, have you been there? Have you been in that?
Not yet.
The coin building.
It looks beautiful. Stunning, actually.
Yeah, great architecture.
Yeah. The architecture we see in this part of the world is just unbelievable, mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah, we're talking just before the ad break, and you think about pace on, pace off, and the two-pace nature of the surface at times. But yeah, I just wonder, and there's always that fine line here because the heat, the dust, the sand, the nature of the ground that is here is that Zayed. So yeah, and you want it to be a bit slicker and come on ideally. But again, therein lies the challenge. You know, you're on a subtly different playing strip as opposed to the one on pitch 5. This is pitch 7. And it can be that much trickier when it's natural light, the heat, as opposed to under lights, and it gets a little bit cooler as we appreciate, and then the ball possibly does slide on better. So again, the different amount of totals day game versus those in the evening can be quite substantial.
Absolutely, yeah. And also when you're watering it, is so important to get it right, as you mentioned, to get the moisture level to be absolutely right, where the ball skids on rather than stopping and having that tennis ball bounce is so important. I think the ground staff does a wonderful job. Being in a desert, as you mentioned, it's not an easy job to do, but you've got to give them a lot of credit.
Yeah, and again, I was just going to also elaborate on when you're at an auction and buying players to have the balance of your side and where you're playing the tournament, which all of it's here, right? So again, looking here at the Samp Army, you just wonder whether a couple of other spin bowling specialists to be in, I know it's their first outing, to be in the lineup for the Samp Army, just pace off the ball with spin specialists I'm on about.
Yeah, finger spinners are always in demand in this format, and we haven't seen a lot so far. We have seen a lot of left armers. We have seen few bowlers bowling off spin, but we haven't really seen. Yesterday we saw Hot Zuglu, and he's done exceptionally well. Leg spinners always make so much harder for the batters in this format, and it's always a challenge. At the moment, this over has been pretty good. Only 2 runs so far from Andrew Nokia.
Yeah, and that's why he's up there, isn't he? As one of the leading bowlers in white ball cricket, particularly whether it's T20 or T10. And, in hot demand and keen to get here. I mean, just listening to colleagues earlier, Abhishek, that South Africa clearly didn't have a good time of it, the recent ICC Men's T20 World Cup. But this guy on screen, he was the standout, really.
Absolutely. Just going to be 1 run. Again, a good over. After 7 overs, is 60 for 1. It's not going to be easy. 41 required of just 18 deliveries. What do you think, Danny?
Well, when you bowl those,
41 required of
just
just 18 deliveries. What do you think, Danny?
Yeah, well, the Tigers. That's what's fascinating.
41 required of just 18 deliveries.
In terms of setting a total, and then in this tournament, runs on the board, and I know Shakib would have seen, oh, look, it's a bit green and what have you, but runs on the board. And then you're backing it up here. So, the Tigers, well, they had the choice. Shakib had the choice of what to do.
Also, maybe another way of thinking about it, that he wanted to see if his team can do both. That's also a way of finding out that early on in the tournament, that can we try and win a game by chasing and batting first. So, if they won the first game, that could be another option of the way he thought about it. But you're absolutely right. First game when you won the toss and chose to bat and won it quite easily, to choose to field.
Another wide, Yeah, look, you're looking at it and it's pretty much 14s, but it's not impossible, and that's the beauty, because you've got Zazai, he's there and he's 35 from 25, and all of a sudden you have that 1 over, don't you? It disappears for 20 or even 25, and it's a different world.
Absolutely. They still have plenty of wickets. They've got 9 wickets and a lot of batting to come. I think there's a couple of boundaries and things will ease up a little bit.
Oh dear. 3 wides in the over, so really we've still only had 1 legitimate delivery, and that's frustrating. And Pretorius as well, and he's a very good cricketer. Seen a bit of him on the circuit, with white ball short format. So yeah, just shows you just that's the hint of what you're trying to do. Maybe you're not quite in the groove and you're trying to do too many things with the ball.
Straight into the hands. That is straight into the hands. And the batter will have to go back. His plan worked eventually after bowling 3 wides. Pretorius picking up his 2nd wicket. Just gone for 6 so far of his first 8 deliveries. And that's a big wicket. Zazai is out.
Yeah, just look at that front foot. That's fine. Yeah, this is his ploy. He wants to go wide. He wants to make Zazai fetch. And you still look, 2 for 6. And here we are giving him a bit of stick about his radar. And he's bowled 3 wides. Doesn't matter when this sort of thing happens. So Zazai has to go. 35 from 26. And the Tigers lose their 2nd at 63.
Off stump, please. Off stump.
Oh, another slower delivery. Wanted to play a big one, getting it just over that infield. Mid-on was inside the 30-yard circle. Lucky there. Munro went for the big shot on the very first delivery, but very good execution again from Pretorius, bowling a slower delivery.
Yeah, as I mentioned, so I've seen a bit of him on the circuit. He's a very good thinker of the game, and he's stuck with it. Yes, he bowled a few wides, but in the end, he got his man. And now you've got Munro, who's come out at number 4. When he usually tends to open over his career, will bat the first 3. So here he is outside of that area now. He's batting at 4. Check out another wide, but sort of like, it's still look bang on 14s. Not impossible, as you were saying, Abhishek. But yeah, Clarkey, look at him. He's gobbled up 10 deliveries for 9. Oh, hey. Just wonder, this is tight because there's Munro shuffled a little to the offside. Let's have a look. Where's Munro go? Watch Munro. He's gone over the offside. He's gone to the offside.
Yeah.
These
That's a tough call.
Young umps getting experience.
Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding from Pretorius. Yes, we have said he's bowled 5 wides in this over already, but if you look at his figures, it still says 10 deliveries, just gone for 10 runs and picked up 2 very, very important wickets of Zazai and Lewis.
Yeah, and you'd take the night of the week, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Look at that. Not far away from that off pole. Very good Yorker.
There's been a lot of swing, but no ding so far.
Yes, and that's the thing, isn't it? It's interesting here, just with the breeze and the way it is. Again, it's the prevailing breeze here that comes into our faces and sort of over that shoulder, the right shoulder of Pretorius, and angles down to 3rd man with a right-hander on strike. So, yeah, you get a little bit of curve, and if you get the length right, give it a chance to swing. That's been good to see.
His execution has been just brilliant, and he's bringing the deep cover fielder inside the 30-yard circle. So all the fielders are outside on the leg side. 4 fielders outside the 30-yard circle.
Oh, it's gone straight up. JC's there, Johnson Charles. Not going to drop that one. And it is a big, big moment in this run chase because Clark, he's taken 11 deliveries to get 9, and he's not going to get any more.
The last 2 overs have been absolutely game-changing for the Armies. This is again a great execution, slower delivery with 4 fielders on the onside, all on the boundary. He wanted to take that option, Clark, but nowhere close to it. Top edge is straight to the keeper, an easy catch for the keeper. 68 for 3 after 8 overs. Tigers. And Joe Clark out for 9 of 11 deliveries. 33 of 12. This is going to be very interesting here. It's gone. That is going to go a long, long way. Great shot from Colin Munro. Got hold of that one, was in the slot, and he made it very, very hot.
I'll tell you what, that took an age to come down. Not only has it gone for 6, but my word, it went so high. A lot of bottom hand for sure. Man, what a good strike, and what a great way to start the over. So now the pressure, Georgie Boy-Garten has disappeared for the maximum first up. Oh, was it interesting to see a little change of pace ball, some good cutters, does George Garten. This one, I thought for a moment it was going to be down the throat, a long off.
It was a good delivery again, as you said. Again, rolling the wrist over the delivery, not trying to give any pace to the batters. He knows that they want some pace. 26 required of 10.
Well, Erin Holland, sideline, is going to be a little nervous. The heart will be pounding a bit more and the adrenaline surging with her husband at the crease. Ben cutting now for the Tigers. Another night that goes onto the poles. Little inside edge. And it could have so easily gone onto the poles.
Again, a good change-up. Was a little delivery. He wanted to get hold of it. Just didn't get any bat involved. Another dot delivery. Every dot delivery is like gold. 23 dots with that one. That is unbelievable. Out of 8.3 overs, 23 dots.
Naughty, naughty. Oh, cutting gets underway. And the good thing from a Tigers perspective is now that Munro gets back on, who's hitting it quite cleanly. 10 from 5 with a maximum. So we've got 2 to go here in the 9th. Now this, in a way, needs to disappear. This is that penultimate over. This is like the 19th over in a T20, where you really want to go big and make the 20th not so stressful. But hey, it's nearly 19s. 25 of 8. Uh-oh.
He must be thinking 4 sixes here.
Hurrah! It's, again, smart bowling, field set, so he's gone into the surface and not tried to allow Munro to go downtown, who's so good at either going over mid-wicket with a pick-up, straight and a wide V, over extra cover as well, slashing, cutting. He's got a lot of stroke play of 360, but now you've got Ben Cutting, who also loves to hit a long ball.
Yeah, again, a good change-up. Was, again, a slower delivery. Good length into the body. Didn't allow him any room. After 9 overs, it's 78 for 3 Tigers.
More.
23 required of the last over. Smashed it. Smashed it. Beautiful shot from Cutting's bat. Boundary of the first ball. A bit of pressure off for the batter, but pressure on for the bowler.
Yeah, 23 asking. Now it's 19 from 5. And Ben Cutting, with all his experience, he has been around the globe in a lot of franchise T20 cricket, of course now with T10. And he's a man for the moment. He's really ideal to be in with Munro.
Great execution. Great execution of that Yorker from Jannat. That's exactly what they needed. They needed a good delivery, a comeback delivery from Jannat, and that's exactly what he has produced here. 18 of 4. Boundaries, boundaries is all about that.
Yeah, and you can't get underneath this. Absolutely cracking full-length Yorker. And Jannat, that is the posse to be, my friend. It's another one of those, thanks, up against the left-handed Munro.
Yeah. I think if he's got that skill, if he can execute those Yorkers, he's got to go for a Yorker. Don't try anything different. Just go for a full delivery here again.
He does, and you're right. Well spotted, Abhishek. Yeah, and again, even though we get the field set with the third and fine up, people go, oh, he's a bit bluffing and a bit risky to go full. Well, you're not. If you're really good at executing that Yorker, and that's what you've got to be, that's your job in a way, and you're a specialist, then those three things sticking in the ground, and whether you're going to hit midland leg or you want to hit off, yes, batters move around the crease, and yes, they can squeeze you out and scoop you possibly, but then if they're scooping you, then you've missed your length. Really.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you got cover down the ground, long off, long on, and so the Yorker, if you dig it out, even if you hit it cleanly, you've still got that good protection. So I like the field and I like the strategy. Now that fine leg inside the circle is going to go, is he? Yeah, is it Pretorius? Yeah. And cover point on the fence has come up to inside the circle. It's closed down that angle on the offside. No, went wide. It's not a wide because, yeah, Cutting did cut across. Got the dancing shoes on, went outside leg and then went outside off. And he's not happy about it, but it's the right call.
Very, very good delivery again. And just a clarity of thoughts. You can see that the bowler's got a plan. He knew exactly what he was doing. And he kept his eye on the batter till the very end. Saw him moving outside the Austin, changed his plan and went wider. Very smart. And here again a short delivery. Four fielders on the boundary on the leg side. That's a very good delivery. And you've got to give a lot of credit here. It's been just absolutely brilliant bowling performance so far from them. And they could be very, very pleased. After getting 100 on board, it wouldn't have been easy to come out there and protect that target.
Yeah, they just got to three figures, didn't they? Yeah. Bang on 100 at Samp Army, and it's been good enough. Well done, gents.
Absolutely brilliant. Outstanding cricket from the Samp Army. They will be so, so pleased. They'll be very pleased. Great start for them in this tournament. First time they've played in the T10, and to start with the winning run is just brilliant. Tigers would be a bit disappointed. They won the toss. They had the option to bat first, put pressure, put runs on board, but they chose to field and didn't work well for them. Danny.
No, and that's the beauty of this tournament. You could say, well, you only just got 100, so, you know, we've seen what happened last night, but again, it's a different pitch. So a different 22 yards can dictate how you go about things. And we thought, well, you know, spin, and, you know, again, from the Tigers, when they restricted the Samp Army to that, you thought, uh-oh, probably not enough. But it just goes to show you, you play together and pull together as a bowling unit. For me, the standout there, clearly Pretorius, with his 3 for, was he got 3 for 11? Quite outstanding. And so I think he'll be my player of the match.
100%. I think he changed the whole course of the game, the way he executed his plan. Yes, he gave a lot of extras, he bowled a lot of wides, but he had a very, very clear plan. He came out there and executed it, and yeah, hence it's been a very good bowling performance from the Samp Army, and they will be very, very pleased with this performance, and so will be the coach and the management.
Yeah, and Jeanette, he's useful too. Like, he went for 14 off 2, so very respectable. Full in terms of T10, so yeah, well done. So everyone's chipped in terms of that bowling performance. So hence the high fives and celebrating. Johnson Charles, gloves on, happy camper. So Tigers played 2, won 1, lost 1, and yeah, again, things to think about, strategies. What are you doing first? Once again, side batting first, putting runs on the board. Might have only been 100. But it was good enough by 15.
It's been a difficult run chase for every team which has tried to go out there and chase the total down. It's been difficult. And this is, again, it's a tournament where the bowlers win new games, and we have seen that so far. If the bowling units have done their job and they have the clarity of thoughts, they've got their plans right, and if they can plan and execute, you win games. And that's exactly what we have seen today as well.
Yeah, very good in terms of... as you say, a side suddenly thrown together, and they've done a job, and they really have done a job on these guys.
Yeah, we could talk about the scorecards. Zai started really well, 35 of 26, but just lost a bit of momentum in the middle. Lewis again was an extraordinary delivery from Pretorius. He just executed his plan really well. Clark Yeah, it was disappointing. 9 of 11, but Munro and Cutting, they were left to do a lot when they came out there in the middle. It was never easy to get those 16, 17, 18 and over, and hence they fell short by 15 runs. And if you talk about the bowling, before that, we'll see the partnership. There's only one partnership we can really talk about here. There's Zazai and Lewis, where they put 39 of 23 deliveries. But after that, Zazai and Clark, they scored 24, but they took a ball more than that. They took 25 deliveries, and that's where you think that Samp Army was able to infuse a lot of pressure on them.
And here's my player of the match, Victorious. That 3 for 11. Look at the dot. It's outstanding. What a performance. And I think about